this, Cats. This is no laughing matter. You're 2 games away from victory and defeat for both of these teams. Vibe over here on the right-hand side of the map, clad in the green, is going to be our Zerg from Root. And our Zerg from Complexity, he's on the left. He's got quite a bit of G's in his intros. He is from Complexity, guys. In the pink, it is Sasquatch. So, Abyssal City, pretty big map overall.
Yeah.
Lots of staging area. Crazy timing attacks available in the mid-game, as it's one of those maps where, I mean, you can just multi-pronged until you have nothing left to do with your life.
Yeah, pretty much. So, nothing. Wow, got very morbid there at the end, too. Well, I've multi-pronged so much, I guess I better call it quits.
Well, when I think of multi-pronged, I think of pitchforks, and then I think of anger, and then I think of... I'm not a pitchforker, man. Pitchforkers make me sad.
Yeah.
A lot of people get angry over them. I'm just like... I'm so disappointed.
Get your pitchfork out about pitchforkers. I have an announcement for everyone that no one cares about. I've been sick pretty much the past entire week. And you know when you have really bad congestion and then your ears pop and then everything is, you can hear again and it's nice and free? Yeah. It just did that.
Oh, that would explain your commentary today. You weren't able to hear me. Zing, zing,
wow.
zing.
Oh my God. All right. Well, BRB killing self, and I guess Kibbles is going to have the rest of the cast. No, it's supposed to be the firing
joke. Come on, that was an alley-oop. And you just...
So everyone just expects me to threaten them with firing them every time. So if you guys don't know, I run the talent division here too. So all of the casters for all of our different games are my minions. And as a good boss-employee relationship, naturally I threaten firing them on a regular basis. So.
Naturally, I become comfortable with it, and so then I try to set Kevin up for a joke for it, and, well, then I feel bad because you seem so sad. So.
Yeah. Now you're actually fired.
I knew it.
Anyway.
First time I try to be helpful. Gas is going down for both our players, folks, so... Nothing too crazy here.
Yeah, Vibe went for 15 pool into hatch afterwards. Flip side of things for Sasquatch, hatch first into pool afterwards, but both of them are going to end up with circling speed at about the same time. And it's just going to be a little bit earlier queen advantage for Vibe, a little bit earlier hatch advantage for Sasquatch.
Yeah. So this is an interesting map where I enjoy trying to take sneaky thirds when I play on it like 4 or 5 times a week, which is just so rare. I'm actually wondering, we've been talking about what to do with the map pool with Abyssal City overall, because, of course, it does favor a little bit hard for players to take thirds, especially in, like, Terran and Protoss matches.
Yeah, definitely.
But here on CVZ, I don't know, man, I like to have a lot of fun with it. As we were talking about, run-bys and things of that nature can be extremely effective, though. Vibe and Sasquatch... Things looking pretty standard to open up. Speed for Sasquatch has started. Vibes will be starting any second, but a drone is going to get picked off.
Wow.
Not going to get... What?
Yeah, that was just sitting there for a while,
so
too.
Impressive.
One hit away. Yeesh. Well, there you go. So, Vibe not managing to pick off that drone, but still gets all the scouting information he needs. And it's one of those things where you get over there, you don't see anything out of the ordinary, but you still got to do it. You've got to get in there with those scouts to make sure nothing super aggressive, super ridiculous is hitting you. Baneling Nest starting for both players. Much the same problem on this map as you have on Antigua Shipyard. You need to be able to get that Baneling Nest. You have a little bit easier ability to try and wall off here, but this is so wide and there's so much staging area that it makes it incredibly difficult to hold off Zergling Baneling pressure.
No, it really does. Which we could have on our hands, you know, Baneling Nest for both players, but that's extremely standard now in the current meta. And a lot of players are like, oh, why is the Baneling Nest such a common thing to go for here? The timing of the Baneling Nest actually, in this situation, protects you perfectly against like your one-base Ling Bane all-ins. You will take some damage on your hatchery, but it's really cool how all the variations of timings, basically what you do against really fast pools, you take your drones, you mineral trick them into your natural or into your main base, and double queen wall off. Yeah. And you can actually, your banelings will finish just in time. Like, they'll come in with their banelings, they won't have enough to explode your queens entirely, so they kind of just sit around and wait for your units to come down while the lings hit away on your hatchery. Some banelings are going to get caught here, by the way, by Vibe. But the timings are just so cool about it because, actually, let's that one die.
Yeah.
Your banelings literally finish like 4 seconds in time against like your 10 and 9, you know, absurd baneling all-ins that your banelings finish, and you can come down the ramp, save your hatchery, hold it off, you're perfectly fine and definitely ahead. And that's why we see these players going for this they all use the same timing essentially.
All right. Well, a really great insight and great point there. We'll see what ends up happening from here on out as Vibe dropping down all 4 of his gases now. Has got his layer tech on the way. His opponent has already finished those such things. Layer tech is already done. And making a huge round of speedlings behind this, 18 of them as a matter of fact. Vibe was pressuring through the middle of the map with a few lings of his own. But that was nothing that Sasquatch couldn't handle. And we do have our first differentiating paths here. Roach Infestor popping up for Vibe. Spire coming up now for Sasquatch. So Mutalisks through the air. And this is a pretty good map for it, too. There is enough space that you can actually duck out of the way and find Sanctuary behind the mineral lines.
Yep. We got a lot of lings moving across the map right now for Sasquatch, though. Vibe, does he have any banelings at home? He doesn't have a lot of time to morph them in. In fact, he's not morphing any yet. He does have 10 lings on the way, but Sasquatch has brought banelings with this army. Lings running to the 3rd, though. There is no 3rd to deny. Simultaneously, Drone is going to get taken out by Vibe. No, he gets the Extractor down actually at the 3rd, but meanwhile, we've got this engagement going on. These banelings still here for Sasquatch. He's trying to get something done with them.
Oh!
Nice contact for Sasquatch, getting a ton of damage in. Vibe hits a nice one, nice baneling hit on the flip side of that, and this Zergling is, well, he can cancel this and restart it. Will he remember? He does. Look at that. Nice out of Sasquatch here.
Very cool stuff. And he's going to get his 3rd down here as a result. At the same time, he's built up quite a bit of gas, and minerals are actually going to be his limiting factor in producing Mutalisks here for a couple of seconds, although he'll be able to chug along with that here pretty quickly. Decides to start Carapace level 1 right away, so he's going to be pretty slow on these Mutalisks, but they're going to be a little bit more powerful once they eventually make their way across the map.
They will. There's nothing at this 3rd right now, Kevin. There's like 8 lings. Vibe is actually going to lose this 3rd base, and the cancel's definitely going to be forced on it. He has no banelings in his natural expansion right now, I don't believe, if we take a look.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. Sasquatch is killing off a couple of units right now. Now he's coming his way into the natural. Let's see what kind of damage he can get in.
8 Mutalisks in total were created. Could be a couple more popping up here in just a bit. That Zergflyer Carapace about 100 seconds away from finishing. And these Zerglings still doing damage here. If they pick off a queen or two, it'd be very nice for those Mutalisks. But looks like finally enough Zerglings rally in for Vibe that he can't continue the pressure any further.
He did plenty of damage there, though. Definitely enough to compensate those lings, and in fact denied the 3rd. Now it's just a time ticker, honestly, for Sasquatch. The longer he can make this game go on and continue to deny this 3rd base, as Infestors are on the way right now, he's just going to get further and further and further ahead until eventually he just can't lose the game.
That's right. The one advantage that Vibe's carrying right now is he has his final unit composition. This is what he wants to be running, is Roach Infestor. But if these Mutalisks get right on top of all these units, that would be disastrous. Oh my god, all the queens went down and an Infestor on top of that. Another Infestor dies. Fungal Growth forced to be used on a bunch of Zerglings, and that is certainly never a situation that you want to be in.
Absolutely not. Sasquatch with a little bit of lackluster control right now, but not enough fungals available to chain fungal these mutas to death. And he's going to be able to get out of here after, losing some substantial hit points. But now he can go deny this 3rd base if he realizes that it's going down. Looks like he actually might just try to go for the kill.
Yeah, I mean, this is really effective play now. You mentioned before, not the best control, could have been handled a little bit better, but regardless of that, he made absolutely the right decisions at the very least. Denies the 3rd base once again. He's moving up into his tech paths now that he wants, as he has the Roach Horn on the way. Another Evolution Chamber going to be moving into his Infestation Pit shortly, and these Roaches can't fire up. Eventually, they will just die to all these Mutalisks.
Yeah, there should be queens coming to back this up, actually, because Vibe may have a chance to hold this hatchery. The hatchery is now completed, and in fact, I was questioning the decision, with how low that hatchery was, Sasquatch deciding to go for those roaches, especially with them tucked in the corner like that. It was a tough call, but ultimately Sasquatch is going to fall back. Remember, he has his 3rd, but he's actually not mining off it at all. He has no workers there. The extractor's only just getting completed, so his advantage isn't as large as we really were making it seem.
I agree with you. Could be a lot farther ahead. Now, Vibe, as a result of all this is what denying production does for you, though. Look at the resources that Vibe has banked up. That's instantly 10 more roaches. And he just can't build them. No larvae anywhere. No, he has a supply available for it, but no larvae whatsoever to create those roaches.
All right, well, Mutas are heading home right now. They're going to deal with the couple of roaches and lings that are at this 3rd base right now. And that'll be free kills nicely for Sasquatch. He'll be able to fall back with his own roaches. This is a situation where there's no real reason to run the roaches. You kind of just, Sasquatch is going to let them go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
I'm glad I didn't finish saying that sentence, actually.
No, you were right in what you were about to say, but that's okay. So, yes, you should just kill them. Your mutas are fast. All right. Well, actually, if he finds this huge group of roaches, that'd be pretty nice for him. He could probably pick off 4 or 5 before they ended up running all the way back home.
Here's the thing right now, Vibe, man, he's got this third base. He's got it running. I mean, Sasquatch could have killed it. He had a ton of Zerglings there and the Mutalisks to boot. That hatchery would have died in mere seconds. But now Vibe, you know, it's done. It's mining. He's only narrowly down in supply. He's definitely still a little behind, but not that bad.
All right. Well, these queens are slowly picking apart the Mutalisks, but looks like the Mutalisks are finally going to win out in the end. Now trying to go after a couple of infestors while the roaches deal with the hatchery. The hatchery's down to just 100 hit points, and that is going to fall.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Sasquatch needed.
All of Vibe's roaches were out of position. They're now arriving, but it's too little too late, and this was just very, very good for Sasquatch overall. The infestors, a bunch of them were picked off by the Mutalisks.
Yep.
This
And
was exactly what he needed.
that entire time, there was a 20-second difference when between when +1 weapons finished up for Sasquatch from when +2 weapons was going to finish for Vibe, and he hit that window exactly. Probably unintentionally, but it still ended up working out well in his favor because most of those roach-on-roach engagements, he was doing the exact same amount of damage.
Well, we've got Groove Spines on the way now to go for Hydras. I don't disagree with Vibe going for a timing attack here at all. You know, he's at 134 supply, but he's got a huge bank. The one thing he is lacking is the gas, of course. He really needs to make sure he is getting good mining off of those extractors because he just has such a large mineral pool at this point. Dump a ton of money into Hydras. Go for your attack. He's even got some infestors with this accompaniment, but Sasquatch is not going to give him a lot of time here. He's going to go for that attack, and honestly, Vibe just has so much money right now that could be units that isn't. He may lose the game here.
Just that limited production again and again. That's what that does for you. That's what killing hatcheries does for you, Zerg players. And now Sasquatch is making his way up for a very large attack. Yes, he's down in upgrades, but he's got so many units here that looks like that alone is not going to be an issue for him, and Vibe is being forced back.
All right, well, Vibe, his army was just cleaned up. He's now down by 34, 36 supply. Quite a disadvantage. I don't think he'll be able to hold on to this third. He doesn't think he'll be able to take this game. GG.
GG indeed. And Sasquatch has just won his 3rd game in a row. He's put Complexity just 1 game away from taking the entire set.
He's a really strong player. We saw him take 3 games just the other day in their last match. Will he be able to take 4 here? It's going to be tough. Root's bringing out Leia.
That's right. Leia coming in next, the last player for Root. Will Sasquatch have what it takes to finish this out? We'll find out after this quick commercial break.